Imaginary patient. Once upon a time, in ancient Persia, known today as Iran, stood an old-fashioned school known as Maktab-khane. This school followed traditional teaching methods, led by Mr. Sheikh, a strict teacher overseeing 30 boys. Their routine was stringent. Children arrived early in the morning, bearing their lunches, and remained until late afternoon. On Fridays, students had a break from their studies. Their education centered on mastering the art of writing and reading the Quran, devoid of any semblance of leisure, sports, or the right to laugh or have fun. Mr. Sheikh, a serious and devout man with a profound understanding of religious subjects and the Quran, upheld an environment that discouraged play, leaving the children elated only when the school doors closed on rare occasions. In the same neighborhood, there was another Maktab-khane under the tutelage of Mr. Mullah. One fateful morning, a student from Mr. Sheikh's school encountered some of Mr. Mullah's pupils joyfully engaged in play within the alley. Upon inquiry, he discovered that Mr. Mullah was unwell, prompting the temporary closure of their school. News of this unexpected holiday swiftly reached Mr. Sheikh's students, sparking mischievous ideas among them. One particularly clever and mischievous child proposed a scheme, feigning concern from their teacher's health to orchestrate a temporary closure of the school. The plan was set into motion with precision and unanimity. The next morning, the students arrived early, before their teacher, ensuring their teacher was unaware of their impending shenanigan. As the plan unfolded, the first child, known for his wit, entered the classroom and with a concerned demeanor greeted Mr. Sheikh. "Mr. Sheikh, I wish you good health and well-being," he expressed. "What happened to you, master? Why do you appear pale? Are you unwell?" Mr. Sheikh responded, "No, I'm doing quite well. Sit down and focus on the final chapter. Be quiet." As Mr. Sheikh contemplated, he questioned why he made such a statement and pondered on the possibility of an error. The second child entered and greeted, then remarked, "Mr. Sheikh, aren't you feeling well today? I pray for your good health. Your face looks pale, sir." The teacher responded, "I'm feeling well. Take a seat." Subsequently, he privately reflected, "Children don't speak without reason. There must be something." He took a mirror, examined himself, found nothing unusual, and became engrossed in thought. Another child entered and inquired, "Mr. Sheikh, have you caught a cold? Observing your appearance, I presumed you might be unwell. I wish you a swift recovery." The fabricated ailment became a collective effort, with each subsequent child entering the room and expressing exaggerated worry about the teacher's purported sickness. Mr. Sheikh, initially perplexed by these unanticipated inquiries, soon found himself caught in a whirlwind of fictional symptoms. Another child entered and added to the predetermined script, "Good morning, Mr. Sheikh. I express my regrets to see you unwell as well. Yesterday my father wasn't feeling well. His face grew pale and he was fatigued, confined to bed all day. The rest of the class entered one by one, repeating the same sentiments. Mr. Sheikh gradually began to feel unwell, experiencing increasing headaches and a desire for rest. As the entire class assembled and reiterated the same concerns, the teacher grew increasingly anxious, entertaining the notion that he might indeed be sick. He even sensed his vision darkening, his hand becoming numb, and his voice trembling. He pondered why his wife failed to perceive his illness when the children seemingly did, contemplating her perceived neglect. In response to the situation, Mr. Sheikh rose, covered his head with his clerical robe, and retreated to his bedroom at the rear of the classroom. He approached his wife, questioning why she hadn't alerted him to his pallor and unwell state, contrasting it with the apparent concern of his students. The woman defended herself, stating she hadn't noticed any issues as he seemed well in the morning. Mr. Sheikh accused her of selfishness and declared his intention to return to bed, requesting some soup. Believing he was unwell, he feigned sickness by starting to moan. After a brief wait, the children gathered at the door of his dwelling and inquired about their class. His wife informed them that Mr. Sheikh was indisposed. The clever child suggested, "So we can enter and continue our education while our teacher is resting." He whispered to the others that it would be prudent to feign eagerness to learn, ensuring that their intentions remained hidden. They proceeded inside and around Mr. Sheikh. They began reading their books aloud. The clever child addressed everyone. "You are being too loud. Please read quietly. You know that noise is not good for a headache." Mr. Sheikh, thinking about his headache, appreciated the comment, pondered for a moment, and then declared, "Today I don't feel very well. It's better that you go home. The school is closed today. We will see how it goes tomorrow." The children bid farewell, expressing wishes for his recovery. Upon arriving home, the mothers were surprised and inquired about the reason for the closure. The children explained that Mr. Sheikh was unwell, leading to the temporary closure of the Maktab Khane. Some of the mothers were skeptical, suspecting that the children might be fabricating stories or skipping school. To confirm, they gathered and went to the school. Upon arrival, they found Mr. Sheikh in bed. The mother of the clever child remarked, "I'll inform my husband, the doctor, to come and visit you." The doctor arrived and examined the patient, checking his pulse and inspecting his tongue. Finding no apparent issues, the doctor asked Mr. Sheikh about his symptoms. Mr. Sheikh complained of a headache, fatigue, and numb hands. The doctor couldn't be sure what was wrong because there were no clear signs. So since the patient asked for it, the doctor gave him medicine for the headache and tiredness and told him to eat less. However, as Mr. Sheikh wasn't genuinely ill, taking unnecessary pills and eating less worsened his condition. Consequently, the school remained closed for a couple of days, allowing the children ample time to play. The children, however, began boasting about their actions, and gradually the mothers uncovered the truth about the teacher's supposed illness. The news reached Mr. Sheikh's wife, prompting the teacher to get up. He reopened the school and ensured that whenever he was truly unwell, he arranged for someone else to teach so the children couldn't deceive him again. In this story, the main point highlights the powerful influence of words on our health and success. It emphasizes that speaking negatively, internally, or being influenced by those around us can make us imagine things about ourselves that aren't true. On the positive side, using powerful words besides our visualization can help us achieve health or success. So it's crucial to be mindful of the words we use, as they play a big role in shaping our well being and what we can accomplish.